yarn lovers! Today I'm going to show you how to crochet these super cute little soap sacks, perfect for gifting or using for yourself. So today I'm going to be using this Yarn Smith's cotton Aran. You can use any worsted or Aran weight cotton yarn for your soap sacks. You're going to need a 4.5mm hook, some scissors and a darning needle. As always, there is also a beautifully designed PDF pattern, so if you prefer to work from the written pattern, I will leave the links in the description for that. So I'm going to start with my coloured yarn, going to put a slip knot on my hook, and I'm going to chain 11. So this chain is roughly the width of your soap plus a couple of extra chains. So if you have a size of soap that is not a standard bar, if you're using artisan soap, just chain to the width of your soap and add a couple of extra chains. You could also use this pattern for a gift card holder or for making a cozy for your phone or a tablet, and for those just simply chain the width of your item that you want to cover. You don't need to add any extra chains for those. So we're going to be working into the back bumps. We're just going to turn the starting chain over. We're going to miss that first chain, and in the second chain we're going to put a single crochet like so, and I'm going to go ahead and put a single crochet in each stitch all the way across until we get to the last stitch. So we've got one stitch remaining. In this last stitch you're going to put 3 single crochet, so that's 1, 2 and 3. This just helps us turn the corner, so we're going to be continuing across the bottom of our foundation chain. So we're now going to go ahead and put a single crochet into the next stitch and each stitch along. These stitches along the bottom can be a little bit tighter, so it might be a bit tricky to get into those. So we're just working a single crochet in each stitch across the bottom of our foundation chain. So I've worked all the way across the bottom and we're back to the first chain. This is the first chain that we worked into. We're going to put 2 more single crochet into that first chain like so. Forgot to mention at the beginning, you will also need a stitch marker. If you don't have a stitch marker handy, you can just use a scrap of a different coloured yarn. This will work just as well as a stitch marker. So we're now going to be working in a spiral. So instead of joining with a slip stitch like you normally would in the round, we're just going to work straight into this first stitch. So in this first single crochet, we're going to put another single crochet, and I'm just going to lay this yarn in between before I work that stitch, and then when I work that single crochet stitch, this yarn is now inside that first stitch, and this is where you would put your stitch marker, in this first stitch. So I'm now going to go ahead and put a single crochet into each stitch all the way around, and this should start to make your crochet kind of curl upwards a bit to fit the shape of your soap or whatever it is you're making your cozy for. So we're simply putting a single crochet stitch in each stitch all the way around. And as you go around the corner, you'll find it will curl up, so just poke it so it curls up the right way around and keep working across. So as you can see, we're up to our marker here, so we've finished this round, and the next round is going to be worked in half double crochet stitches. So if you're using a scrap of yarn, the way that you move the marker up would be just to pull it forwards and then work the next stitch into this stitch. So we're going to put a half double crochet into this first stitch. If you're using a stitch marker, you'll work that first stitch and then pop your stitch marker in here, and you're going to move your marker up every round. So we're now going to continue with a half double crochet into each stitch. So I've worked all the way around with a half double crochet in each stitch, and we're now back at this marker. So I'm simply going to move the marker to the back of the work and then put a half double crochet into this first stitch of the round. And again, if you're using a normal stitch marker, just pop that into that first stitch. And that last round is the round we're going to repeat now. So we're just going to continue with a half double crochet in each stitch. And we're going to repeat that last round 7 more times. So you'll have a total of 8 half double crochet rounds. So you go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you back when we're ready to work the top of our soap sack. So I've worked my 8 rounds in half double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're just back to where our stitch marker is. And as you can see, your work slowly shifts to the right with each round when you're working in continuous rounds. So we actually want to be over this side when we start our next colour. So I'm just going to put a few extra stitches. So I'm going to put half double crochet into the next 3 stitches. That's 1, 2, and 3, and then a single crochet into the following stitch. And then we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch but change colour. So I'm just going to put my hook into the next stitch. We're going to drop the pink and pick up this off-white colour, lay that over your hook, draw it through and through the slip stitch. So we can then fasten off pink. If you want to, you can just tie the ends together until you're ready to sew them in, so that stitch stays a bit more secure. So we're now going to be working in rounds, not continuous rounds. So we will be joining at the end of each round from now on. So I'm going to chain 1. This does not count as a stitch. I'm then going to put a single crochet into the same stitch, and I'm going to start putting a single crochet into each stitch all the way around. So you continue around your soap sack with a single crochet in each stitch, and I'll meet you back when we're ready to finish up the round. So I'm at the end of the round, and we're going to join with the slip stitch to this first single crochet, and for a neater join I'm just going to use the reverse slip stitch join. So you're just putting your hook in from the back to the front of the stitch, like so. Grab your yarn, pull it through to the back, and then pull that slip stitch through, and we're ready to start the next round. So I'm going to chain 1. Again, this doesn't count as a stitch, and a single crochet in that same stitch. I'm going to put a single crochet in the next 5 stitches. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm now going to chain 2. This is creating the little hole here for us to put our little hanging loop through. So if you're working on a custom size, you just want to skip the 2 stitches are roughly in the center of your project. So we're going to skip the next 2 and then carry on with single crochet in all of the remaining stitches around. And again, I'm going to join with that reverse slip stitch to this first stitch, like so. And we're ready to start our final round. So again, I'm going to chain 1, single crochet in the same stitch, single crochet in the next 5 stitches. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. I'm going to put 2 single crochet into this chain 2 space. So if you're doing a custom size, just put a single crochet in each stitch, 2 single crochet in the chain space. So I'm going to put a single crochet into the next 10 stitches. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So if you're doing a custom size, you just want to roughly get to the center at the back of your project. I'm now going to chain 25 for the hanging loops. That's 1, 2, 3, 21, 22, 23, 24 and 25. And then we're going to single crochet into the next stitch and then single crochet in all of the remaining stitches around. And then we're going to join to this first stitch with a slip stitch. So for this last slip stitch, I'm going to take my hook out of the loop. It's still a reverse slip stitch, but we're taking the yarn that we're holding here is going to be at the back of the work instead of the front. So if you just then pop your hook back on the loop and pull that through, then when you fasten off, it's going to be done at the back. It just makes it a little bit neater, so then you can fasten that off. So all that's left to do is to weave in those ends and pop in your soap. And your finished soap sack will look something like this. If you prefer working from the written pattern, I will leave a link to the beautifully designed PDF in the description. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you're looking for more kitchen and bath projects, then check out this playlist next. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye now.